Hey everybody, welcome back to Three Generations Restoration. We got ourselves a cool little video today. We ended up buying two tractors over the last week or so. Some John Deere 30 series tractors. We're gonna do a little bit of a walk around and even take a drive on one of them. We'll go ahead and we'll see what you guys think and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. So stay tuned for a pretty cool video. Alright, so we're going to start the video off with the non-running tractor. This one right here. This is a John Deere 630. Let me go to the serial number tag, which is down right next to the clutch housing. 6315474. I'm not sure the year. I'll put that right now, and I'll let you guys know what year it is. Pretty straightforward John Deere 630. Guess we'll start with this side. You guys can see it's got a plow mount that I actually have to take off and give back to the guy that we bought it from. Just on looking on this side, looks like we got some sort of a oil leak by the air breather going onto the carburetor. Got some goodies in the toolbox. I don't know what size wrench. I think it's a 9/16. Can't tell the brand. We got another one. A couple tools in the toolbox we'll go through. Look, the tractor even came with a rock. We got the spark plug cover, which is, these are always gone. Kind of see we got just leaks and leaks all over. Tires, you know, they're not the best, but they're serviceable. It's got the really nice flat top fenders on it on each side. I'll go around to this side. Same thing. Spark plug covers are intact. Does look like we got some sort of a coolant leak by this right here. It's no big deal. Manifold is in excellent shape. Normally these are tattered around this area and they're rotted. Here's the clutch. Engine is free on this tractor. Let's take a look at the back end of it. This one actually has 3-point. It's got, this is the 3-point lift, which, there we go. Oh, look at that. It's actually going down. So that must still be engaged. So that's gonna work. We'll just have to check the fluids on it, which are right here. Let's just take a quick look and see what the rock shaft oil is looking like. Oh, pretty clean oil in this. That's actually very surprising. You got your hydraulics. This one's got a set of remotes on the side, which is pretty neat. PTO down here. And what's nice about this tractor is it's got that live power setup. So let's go ahead and hop on up to the operator's platform. Down under the seat, we got two 6-volt batteries wired up to be 12-volt. The neatest thing about this is the story though. So this is the tachometer and it says 3,408 hours. That is the actual correct hours of this tractor. The guy we bought it from said that he is the second owner. The first owner was his dad, so I guess you could technically say one owner on this tractor. Gauges have seen some better day. The fuel is cracked. Some of these other ones are just probably dusty but still work. You know, it's got the 6-speed shifter. This is the engage, disengage to the rear end, PTO. And you got your brakes. But I mean, you guys can see outside of a few dents and dings on the front grille, this tin work is in immaculate shape. I mean, even look at the fenders. I mean, it's hard to even find a ding on this thing. Let's go ahead and see what the engine oil is looking like. I haven't checked this. Oh yeah. Smells like gas. Pretty typical on these. A little over full. It smells like bad gas. And if I had to guess, that's why this is super oily, because this sediment bowl here failed. It's got little diaphragms on the inside of it that tend to leak by when they sit for a while. And with this being a downdraft carburetor, gas tends to go through to the carburetor, and over time the float can either get a little sticky or something, and then it just flows right down into the engine. So that's going to be something we're going to probably need to address. I don't know if we're going to need to put a seal on that. I'm hoping not, but if we have to, it's no big deal. Power steering on this one. Roll-o-matic front end. Here's the front badge. Little dinged in, no big deal. Here's kind of the main damage that I'm seeing on this thing, but overall it's a pretty nice looking tractor. John Deere 630. We'll see what this one brings. We're going to do a YouTube video on this here shortly. I got quite a few projects going on in the shop right now we're getting to first, and then we should be able to get to this here soon. So this is the first tractor. Now let's go to the next one, which you can see is right here. All right, so this is the tractor that I was actually after on the deal. This is a John Deere 730 square axle wide front electric start diesel. Serial number on this is 7305419. I'll put the year as well right now. I saw this on Facebook Marketplace as kind of an option to upgrade per se to our 730 that's over here. With this one, the main upgrade being the square axle wide front. There's just something different and something, I don't know what it is, but I just really like these wide fronts on these old 2-cylinders. My grandpa can agree as well. He really loves this tractor when it came to the shop. Like I said, diesel engine. We got our 2 fuel filters. There's our little sediment bowl. Big flywheel. Once again, we got really nice flat top fenders on it. Decent tires, although I am gonna probably do an old swap. I'll give you guys a lowdown of what my plans are with this here soon. Rims are in good shape. Looks like we got a little bit of rot, but I think we got a new tube in here, so I think we're okay. We got PTO, set of remotes, and 3-point. Down here we got the PTO. All this stuff works, and I'll kind of show you here in a little bit as to what happened when I made the deal. Like I said, this tire is in okay shape. The fronts are in really good shape. A little cracking, but for what I'm going to be using it for, they're in very good shape. This one, unlike my other 730, has the stacked air breather. I'll give you a look at this other one here real quick. You can see on this one that it's covered up. And when you're going down the road, you really like to have both of those on. It just makes the tractor look a little better. Let's go ahead and check the oil. I already did this, but I'll just show you guys. This is in pretty good shape, right almost at the full mark. Doesn't smell like diesel, just smells like good diesel engine oil. So yeah, let's hop up onto the seat So you guys can get a little bit of a view up here. You guys can see we got quite the impressive tin work on this one as well. Not a dent, not a ding. Biggest ding on this tractor is actually on this fender here. You can kind of see it. There's almost a scratch or a ding here in this fender. That's an easy fix. But man, these square top fenders are nice. Really the only thing wrong with this tractor is it's got some funky wiring going on. And he had mentioned that to me. He said that when I got there, the PTO wasn't quite working the way he thought it should be working. He couldn't get it to engage, and I'll show you why. And then he couldn't also get the 3-point to work, which is no big deal. So I'll show you what I did to get the PTO to work. There's a little shaft right here. This was pointed toward this way, so I rotated it counterclockwise until I heard a big clunk in the transmission. Not a bad clunk, a good clunk. That actually engages the rear end of the tractor. So we engaged that, threw the PTO in. PTO worked great. Went to the 3-point, and I was like, okay, well, the 3-point ain't working. It's not going up or down. This was really almost soft like this right now. On these tractors, they're powered. On these tractors, the 3-point's powered by a little hydraulic pump underneath the flywheel housing. And this was a simple fix. You just had to turn it on. The 3-point was off. So I flipped that on, and the 3-point kicked right up and worked great. This guy had both of these tractors sitting in his barn, and he had both of them pretty much his whole life. I know that was his dad's, and I know this one he's had for quite a long time. He was getting to the point where it was getting hard to get on and do stuff with, so he figured it was time to let him go. So I think we're due for a little bit of a ride on this bad unit. Let's go ahead and start it up and show you what kind of a tractor it is. All right, well, I guess the first step is to climb up on here. We're gonna check our coolant, but we're also gonna take this can off. So we got, yep, we're good on coolant. These things always can be a stupid thing to get back on sometimes. Let's go ahead and see how much diesel I got. I think it's full. Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys can see it, we're almost to the brim. All right. Okay, so you're sitting up in the driver's seat. Now I know a lot of you guys probably aren't familiar with starting this tractor. This is a 730 electric start, so this doesn't have a pony motor. Pony motor, you'd have more levers here, a couple more levers here, but this one is a little bit more simpler to start. First thing you're going to want to do is make sure you're in neutral. So we're in neutral. Make sure that the clutch is disengaged. We're going to go ahead and turn the key on. One notch. You can see our fuel gauge came up. We're going to go ahead and give it a little throttle until the stop linkage disengages. You can see that. Once that happens, we'll go a little bit more, not much. All right, now I'm going to put my foot on this pedal. This is the decompression lever. This is going to let the engine turn over for a little bit until we build oil pressure and a little bit of heat so this engine can actually pop off. So I'm going to press this button and I'm going to watch the oil pressure. Once we get oil pressure, we're going to go ahead and see if this thing won't start. Here we go. Oh yeah. So that's how you start it. And it's a pretty dang good running tractor. You kind of hear it. It idles a lot better than that other one over there. I think the other one's got a couple issues I need to fix. So think of the tractor, Grandpa?
Great tractor. I grew up on those.
Yeah? What did you have as a kid?
Huh?
What did you have as a kid?
What did I have?
Yeah.
720s.
Okay. A little bit different than a 720.
Then we had I worked on a farm too that had a 730 too.
Yeah. Pretty nice tractor, I think.
Yeah, all 2 cylinders.
Well, it seems like this 730's Grandpa approved. Just love the sound of that engine. Very crisp. What you like to see. Just another tip too, if you're not running the tractor, just keep your clutch engaged. It really helps reduce wear. To shut this thing off, we're gonna pull, I gotta almost use my legs to hold the camera. We're gonna pull this back and the throttle at the same time. Yeah, there it is. Pretty dang nice John Deere 730. Like I said, this is this one's Grandpa approved. That's a good sign. All right, so maybe you guys are asking, what's the plan with these tractors? Well, I had mentioned the plan with the 630 a little bit, but just to reiterate, I think what we're going to end up doing here shortly is we're going to do a will it run video on this. Needs a little bit of work before we can even attempt to start it, but I think that's what we're going to end up doing on that. Now the 730, I just was talking to my grandpa. I think we're going to have to do a John Deere 730 parade with both of them. He really likes these things, really likes the 2 cylinders, and like he said, he grew up on these. So I think at the end of the day, if you guys can see on this one is in not as good a shape. Tin work is in really good shape outside of a couple dings on the nose cone. Paint, yeah, it's faded pretty good. But on this thing are the tires. This thing has oversized, I think these are 16.9s. So 16.9 38s on the back as to opposed a 15.5, yeah. So they sit a little higher, make the tractor look a little meaner. I think I'm gonna end up taking those tires and rims and putting them on that one. Same with, I think the fronts I'm gonna end up keeping on this one just because this one's got pretty good ones still on it. You guys can see there's really no point. But yeah, the backs, I think the backs would make this tractor look really cool. Make it sit up a little taller. I don't know, it's just a thought. I want to reupholster the seat. And then I guess I want to fix this one up and get it almost in the same order. It's got some issues with the shifter and it's got a couple issues with the PTO, but it's nothing a little bit of time and a little bit of effort can fix. I'm just really happy I ended up calling this guy. At first was a little bit high priced, but a couple days later the guy called back and was like, okay, well, I think here's where I'm gonna be, and ended up making a deal on the 730 and ended up seeing this. And while we were there, ended up making a deal. Let me quick show you what else I got for the 730. All right, and a pile of parts here is the 3-point assembly for that 730. I got the same setup on the other one, the narrow front one. You know, you got your arms kind of here. So we got 2 of them, and then we got 2 of the elephant ears. Those go on the side of the case to prevent swing and also give the bottom a point to pivot on. Got the return spring and a few other bits and pieces. I'm not 100% sure where they go yet. But yeah, no, this was pretty nice. We got this with the deal. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I think out of all the tractors and brands, yeah, I love my crawler tractors. I love my crawler tractors, but I think the brand I like in particular with these over the years, you know, it's not Allis-Chalmers, not Farmall. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of people mad. Not Massey, not Minneapolis, but I think it's gotta be John Deere all the way. Hearing this engine run, knowing that this thing's gonna start right up, there's just no, you just can't beat them. So I think we're gonna wrap it up and call it an episode, but stay tuned because I got a Farmall F12 I'm gonna try to be getting running here soon. I got a 4020 I'm working on, doing some 3-point stuff on. We're gonna be getting to this. I got a Farmall W4 we're gonna work on, a John Deere MT we're gonna work on, two Farmall H's to work on, actually 2 4020s. I got so many projects here for YouTube lined up. It's been just a pretty busy couple of months, so I'm loving to get back at it, and with these 2 things here, this is really making me excited to get back into YouTube again. So stay tuned and please consider subscribing to 3 Generations Restoration. We'll catch you guys at the next video.